What are you doing here? It's Saturday morning. I'm not live streaming for hours and oh right, I finished the other bag and you want to see the pattern for the new bag that we'll be working on tonight. I forgot all about that. I need to get that done right away. Okay, roll the intro while I get ready, okay? Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and yeah, I have a pattern to make here. So let's do this. So this is going to be a lot like a previous pattern we did during our live streams, with a little bit of a variation. So this is really a lot closer to the color black than I normally use in my tutorials, but I know I'm really not going to change up anything, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. So do you guys remember how we did like this, where we skip a couple rows? Yeah, it's like that. Um, Basically what happened was, I think it was Rainbow mentioned in our live stream how she likes, doing a rainbow color project with black as the, part of the whole color scheme. And I was thinking that the bag that we had made, the super colorful one and stuff that Mandy picked out the colors to, I was thinking that was super cool. Um, but it made, because we had so many different colors, it made the entire project a little bit more advanced than, well, I was thinking that maybe somebody that was kind of new to making bags might appreciate, right? So I was thinking, what would be an easier way, an easier method to be able to pull something like this off. And I will show you what we got. All right, so obviously there's going to be a lot more of these things in here. Well, here, let's just get these things kind of in for a second, because this is perhaps maybe the easier bit to it all. But yeah, I later tonight, if you're watching this when this video first posts, later tonight I will actually start making this thing on the live stream. One of the big differences, besides just colors and stuff, is the fact that the previous one was a 96 string bag, and this one's going to be 144. And the big significance there is at 144 strings, it should be big enough around to actually fit a cell phone into it. So that's kind of the exciting part, is this is a much larger bag. I don't know how many weeks this will be actually made, but the whole thing will be made on the live streams. So you'll be able to actually kind of work alongside me if you want to try to take on the project yourself, or perhaps you're just kind of eager to see how many hours goes into a project like this. Whatever it may be, you're going to be able to actually witness the whole thing being made, and you can hang out with us and see what kind of things have been going on in our lives as we kind of chat, as we do every week. It's Saturdays at 10 p.m. Singapore time, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah. So I'm probably going to do a lot of filling this whole thing um, in my own free time, like not on the video. But let's kind of get it started. So the thought is, the harder part of the last one was we had 8 wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 8 different colors in the loop right here. And this time what we're going to do is we are not going to have that many colors. It'll just be the black and the red. And then the next one over will be a lighter shade of red. Okay. And then the next one over will be an orange. Let's go ahead and there. All right. So this will be the orange over here, which is going to come through this way. And then I have a thing that's off screen to give me my color because that's upsetting me. Yeah, I'll figure that out in a second. Okay, so let's also grab a lighter purple because that's what's going to come from over here. All right. So the first one here will be the red, like we did before, where the ones that are coming this side get the first one, and then the ones coming this way get this. Right? And then the darker red will be up here, and this will be the lighter red. So they're going to keep exchanging kind of like how we had it before. So this one will be the darker red, and then this will be the darker red, and that'll just kind of continue onwards. And again, this is just going to be easier because when we put down our strings, you know, in the beginning part, when we're making the loops, whether you're making kumis or not, you don't have to sort out the colors differently. So now we can see that these alternate this way. This will be down here. So yeah, these kind of fill in kind of quick. All right, so now this lighter purple would be on the top first, and then it would be over here and over here. So you get the idea. It's basically making a basket weave type of design, but you're going to have the same color kind of running through as a pair as it goes along, which I think is going to look pretty cool. Now, color-wise, we have basically 2 of each of the colors. So there's 2 purples, 2 blue, 2 everything. And that, I think, is going to make it kind of interesting as well. So you'll have the full rainbow going through it. Let's get a darker purple. So yeah, my goal for, you know, getting this pattern ready for the on the website. Mind you, it will be available over on my website, aka AWOL.com. If you look in the tutorials, I'll have it pinned to the top so that way while we're busy doing all the live streams and showing how this is done, people can come and actually find it, and they can try this for themselves. This will be fun. Mind you, obviously, this pattern is, I'm only showing a small portion. There will be 12 of these loops, and I'm only really showing you 2 of them. But there'll be 12 of these loops. They're all joined together right here, like where the bees come in. That part there is where how they join to each other. yeah, you're kind of expected to be able to figure out how the rest of these work because they're all essentially going to look the same, right? It's all just starting out with the colors divided up, where you put down the black first, then two of whichever color it is, then the black, and then two of whichever color. You bring the blacks down, and they will join at the corner here, and then that black line will continue over both of the other sides of your bracelets that you're making. So, um, so this orange is coming this way. So yeah, essentially all the colors are going to mix with each other, which I think is actually going to give this a really super interesting look and an effect that you typically don't see. And then at some point, if the bag is actually long enough, you might get to a point to where the colors join back up again, and you have like this where it's like a bigger diamond, and it does, it's there's you don't see the basket weave as much, right? So that's kind of neat, I think. So, right? And so on and so on. So yeah, I'm gonna add the rest of the colors to this so that way you guys can kind of get more of a feel for it. I honestly don't know how long it'll be. I've left myself extra string so that way I can replace strings when they get to be too short, because I know that that's going to be a thing in order to make it long enough for a phone, because that tends to be longer than just a regular bracelet, especially when the black color gets used so much more than everything else. So that's something that I'm planning on being able to show you guys as we go along. Um, and yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for just being here. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to my Patreon supporters who make my tutorials possible. Um, Obviously, the financial contributions that they make help me to have the string to be able to make these kind of projects, and it's definitely very, very appreciated. So, all right, guys, I will see you guys hopefully later tonight with the live stream, and yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.